A federal judge has denied Representative Lauren Boebert's request to dismiss a lawsuit against her. Federal Magistrate Catherine A. Starnella has allowed aspects of a lawsuit filed by David Wheeler of American Muckrakers PAC to proceed against Lauren Boebert. Wheeler alleges that Boebert had made some maliciously false statements about him and the PAC on multiple occasions back in 2022 when Boebert was running for re-election. Wheeler, citing sources close to Boebert, had published some unflattering information about her, some of which turned out to be not true, unprovable, and so Boebert threatened to sue as a result and has not done so, but sought to have the case dismissed under Colorado's anti-SLAPP law. So now, in a recommendation that dealt with Boebert's motion to dismiss, as well as a motion from Wheeler to amend his original complaint, U.S. Magistrate Judge Catherine Starnella said that Boebert potentially could be found liable for threatening to sue the donors to American Muckrakers PAC. So, in a statement to Fox News in June of that year, Boebert had said that Muckrakers' sloppy, reckless, and wildly irresponsible actions have created substantial legal liability for Muckrakers, David Wheeler, in his personal capacity, and each donor to the organization who chose to fund the effort, knowing that it would result in defamation. With Boebert's lawyer adding, this will be costly miscalculation for Muckrakers, Wheeler, and Muckrakers donors. So now, wait a minute. So targeting the donors. Now, Boebert never followed through with any lawsuit because, let's be honest, that's a ridiculous lawsuit. Defamation cases are pretty hard to prove, and discovery could be potentially embarrassing for the Colorado carpetbagger, okay? So she didn't sue, but Wheeler did, saying that he had a 92% drop in donations to the organization that he blames Boebert's threats for. Now, in her decision, Starnella wrote, defendant's threats to sue plaintiff's sponsors and donors are unprotected because they were neither made in good faith nor in serious contemplation of litigation. While defendant has an interest in protecting her reputation, even through litigation, plaintiffs, donors, and sponsors have a weightier interest in exercising their First Amendment right to engage in political speech in the form of financial donations to a political action and committees without fear of retaliation. You hear that? That is the sound of a conservative Supreme Court decision coming up to slap Lauren Boebert in the face. That's what that is. Donating to political action committees is actually considered protected political speech under the law. You can't sue the donors for donating. All right? That's not, there's no law that allows for that. Now, Starnella added the court finds no social value in allowing elected officials to silence speech they dislike by threatening gadfly journalist donors who have not themselves engaged in any unlawful or tortious activity. Tortious as in like, or tortious, I'm not sure how to say that word, but basically tort. That's what that means. Here's the thing about this. This was an example of Republican cancel culture. Lauren Boebert doesn't like the things that Wheeler and his PAC were saying. Okay, yes, she's a public figure. And yes, of course, she's not going to like some of the stories that come out, right? But trying to shut down the speech that she doesn't like, that is very cancel culture of her, okay? Yes, there's speech that is unflattering, and then there's defamation. Those two are different, right? Now, in order to do defamation, you have to knowingly and with malice spread something that is not true. Now, a good example of this is Fox News spreading lies about Dominion voting systems around the 2020 election. Okay? No evidence whatsoever. In fact, there were, there were studies or analysis that were done of the voting machines that showed absolutely no truth to any of the claims that they had been making about Dominion voting systems and their machines. Rudy Giuliani had also spread lies about two election workers, Ruby Freeman and Shane Moss, claiming that they were, doing some mishandling of ballots intentionally in order to try to rig the election, right? Not true at all. And then you had Alex Jones that had spread lies about the Sandy Hook families, okay? Now, that said, the stuff that Wheeler had reported, there were some false and uncorroborated claims about Lauren Boebert, okay? So this had come from alleged sources close to Boebert giving this information to the PAC, which turned out, again, to not be either true or just unsubstantiated, okay? So you can't really do defamation because in this case, you don't really know if they're false, okay? Because it's more of like a hearsay thing. Like, I don't know, I think that this is something that I saw from Boebert. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to go and spread that now because I trust this source, okay? So, look, Wheeler has admitted that some of the information that he had received from some of these sources was not good and that they, really didn't do a good job following it up or corroborating it. Wheeler conceded that the super PAC was wrong when it insisted a photo of another woman posing on a bed is a photo of Boebert. Was wrong when it claimed Boebert initially failed to disclose a campaign contribution from Senator Ted Cruz of Texas. Was wrong to suggest Cruz had made big contributions to Boebert's campaign immediately after she started running in her first primary. Was wrong about the date of a Boebert vehicle accident. And it was wrong when it published a claim that Boebert had an abortion in the fall of 2004, at most 6 months before she gave birth to a son in March of 2005. So at the end of the day, the PAC used the sketchy claims and sources to put out some claims that didn't turn out to be true. And guess what? They had to retract them, and then they offered to apologize for any inaccuracies. She, however, had threatened to sue the PAC, sue Wheeler, and sue the donors. Now, she didn't because that'd be a ridiculous lawsuit. So now, American Muckrakers, since they were, able to sue her for, hey, you threatened my, income, my donors now, and now I'm not getting those donations anymore, they might actually win on that. The judge said that Wheeler is reasonably likely to prevail in court on the claim that Boebert improperly interfered with American Muckrakers' ability to work with previous and future donors and supporters, with those threats. So this might actually end up being a big win for Wheeler and American Muckrakers back against Lord Boebert. Wow. Who would have thought? That said, it's not a complete win for Wheeler. Judge Starnella did block his defamation suit from going forward. Defamation is incredibly hard to prove, so there's that, right? Though it is kind of ironic here, because Boebert apparently, like a lot of Republicans, does not understand how free speech actually works in this country. They think it's, I can say anything that I want at any time to whomever I want in any capacity with zero consequences. Free speech. Well, no, but that's not how that works. There is defamation. There are limits to speech. Basically, all the First Amendment says in regards to free speech is the government can't come in and punish you for it. That doesn't mean private individuals can't have an issue with your speech, especially if it is, like I said, defamatory or causes you harm, okay? Now, the other funny thing about that is that they're complete hypocrites when it comes to free speech. When somebody from the other side comes in and says things that they don't like, they're the first to jump down their throats and to threaten legal action, even though they don't ever have a good case. It's very rare that they have a good case on free speech or defamatory grounds. Usually they tend to be on the opposite side of that and the ones that are doing the defaming. Total hypocrisy, but again, what do you expect? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.